Let me tell you about this cool scar I got going down my chest. At 37, I had to have open heart surgery. And it wasn't because I was unhealthy. I was running multiple miles a day. I was working out. I was eating pretty healthy. It was because I had 3 different birth defects that nobody caught when I was a baby. Probably because I was born in a former USSR and they weren't as sophisticated as the docs here in the United States. So they never caught it. I spent 8 years in the Marine Corps. Every year I had to have a physical. And every year a doctor would say, Eric, you have a heart murmur. And I would say, Doc, is this something I need to worry about? They're like, nope, everything's fine. You look healthy. And that's what I heard my whole life. You look healthy. Well, on this particular day, I woke up in 2017 with the most excruciating pain. I'm 37 years old. I'm really healthy. This wasn't a pain like I'm sore or I pulled a muscle. This was like I've never felt the pain like this before. Now look, if I'm that guy that like if I'm in pain, I'm gonna eat some Motrin, I'm gonna put a Band-Aid on it, and I'm going about my day. But this was different. This day I had a voice that said, get your butt to the emergency room now. I don't know why I listened, but I told Julie, I'm like, Jules, something wrong, I'm going to the ER. I get to the ER, I tell them something's wrong with my back is killing me, I can't move. They do a bunch of tests, do x-rays, do an MRI. The doc comes back and he's like, Eric, we don't see anything wrong with your back, but your heart looks really enlarged. And I'm like, man, that's pretty crazy. They said, we need to run some tests. At 37, I ended up at NIH, National Institute of Health, because they've never seen anybody make it to 37 with the condition that I had. Most people will die as infants for this, okay? So I go through all these tests. Finally, they figure out the 3 birth defects that are causing my heart to overpump and say, Eric, you have to have open heart surgery. Here are the 2 things that I learned from that experience that I got to share with you. Number 1, this was the craziest, that as soon as I got the diagnosis for the heart, the back problem went away. And at that point, I'm like, oh, that's just my body telling me that, taking me to the hospital. Silly, Eric, it wasn't my body. Number 2, that's when I realized that God spoke to me. That's when I realized that I could hear God's voice say, hey, dude, get your butt to the ER. God was the one squeezing the back to let me know, go to the ER. I'm sure if he would have squeezed the heart, I probably wouldn't have made it through that day. Anyway, the reason I'm sharing with you all this God stuff today is because I realized back then that I have that connection with God. If I'm silent, I could hear God's voice. And ever since then, I've been journaling, I've been meditating, I've been praying. I've built that relationship closer and closer. And just this last September 2025, I end up in Midland, Texas for my friend Dan's event. He had some really big names speaking. One of the names actually was Ed Milet. He's a superstar, probably one of the best speakers I ever heard. But the other amazing speaker, I never heard of the guy, was a Marine Corps F-18 pilot. His name is Ed Rush. And he gets on stage and he starts promoting this topic of God Talks. And he wrote this book and he's speaking on this topic, God Talks. And I'm listening to him and I'm like, wait, I've been doing that. I didn't realize I was having these conversations with God. I didn't realize that's what I was doing. But he laid out this process that many people don't know even exists. I somehow found it. Maybe I couldn't label it. Maybe I couldn't pinpoint what was going on in my life. But I'm confident that since 2017, I've been talking to God and I've been listening, hopefully all the time. Anyway, Ed Rush is gracious enough that he's doing a 4-part book study. He wants more people to be connected to God, to their higher power, whatever that is. Whatever the higher power is. We're not talking about religion here, people. We're talking about that relationship. And it starts on Saturday at 10 a.m. I'm going to post the links. I invite you to join. If you want to get closer, if you want to hear God's voice in your life, if you want to have that relationship, I really encourage you to sign up for this book study. Even if you can't make it live on Saturdays, maybe you're observing Shabbat, you'll get the recordings. Just get in the community and listen to what he has to say. Study this book. If you study it and apply it, what do you have to lose? And then what do you have to gain? I'm telling you, for me, I wake up with more gratitude. I'm a happier person. I'm more confident because I know who's behind me. I know who's with me at all times. I don't do anything alone, guys. And this is coming from a guy that if in 2016 you asked me about God, I would tell you God doesn't exist. I'm the story. All right, guys, hopefully this inspired you to sign up for the book study. We're starting live. It's completely free. You don't have to pay anything. All virtual on Zoom. You can take it from your mobile phone. But get that book, and hopefully I'll see you in those studies. I'd love to hear your takeaway, and I'd love to hear how it changes your life too. Have a good one.